how I wanted it. I could go on record and say I hated most of the new adventures. I thought they were too dark and too despairing, and I went on record at the time to say it should have been fun, and it should be fun and fast when it came back, and Russell did exactly what I wanted. So I'm a quite boring person in saying, a few niggles aside, what Stephen and Russell have done is exactly what I wanted to do. I know my point of view isn't universal, but I'm afraid I'm a bit boring and just say yay. Woo! I'll sing it.
I disagree with that. I have to say I'm on record before it came back as saying I didn't believe it could ever work. I hated it before it even came back. I really thought they'd update it, the old fans would hate it, and the non-fans would still have a stigma against it. It's Doctor Who, and they'll watch it. But it's come back in the great triumphant form. I'm amazed, even now, 6-7 years later, it's still atop this form. It's incredible. Aaron?
Yeah, so I like the new series, and the latest one is my favourite, Max is my favourite Doctor. So I'm quite happy. I even like the new G.P. Daleks as well. It's a girl, so.
The Teletubby Daleks.
Yeah, that's it.
That's fantastic. I think there are problems ahead.
There may be
troubles ahead. Yeah, because things like this do not last. And the reason why Doctor Who happened is that a lot of fans are really interested in making it right. And the BBC is a huge, many-headed creature. And you say we're nostalgia mad. We love things that happened 20, 30 years ago. The BBC is nostalgia mad too. But they're nostalgia mad for last year. And they would really like to replicate what happened last year. They are nostalgic. The reason why Robin Hood and Merlin and all that lot came out is because Doctor Who was a success. And, we like to replicate, they like to replicate the past. I made that point in my third Merlin book, that instantly something becomes a success, they try and do exactly the same. So there's an incredible risk of it getting stale because there's no actual, you don't have days when Derek Sherman just goes, I'll stick it on there, or Philip just rolling up and going, I'll just make it horrible and scare the kids to death. You don't have that because you've got lots of people who say, you can't mess with the formula, you can't do that, it has to be a fun young doctor with a sassy young girl, and they're going to have a lot of fun, and they're going to do the adventures, and it's got to be 13 parts, and there's got to be the comeback monsters in the middle, and there's got to be the big finale. So there's so many things you have to do that a strong showrunner has to stand up to and says, no, I'm not going to do that. And Stephen, fantastic as he is, goes, I'm going to remake it because I know Doctor Who, and I know it has to evolve. And the thing about Doctor Who is change. And, all the tense squeeze and the tenants going, oh, he's gone, you might as well end the show. They were going to end the show when Russell left. Let's not beat around the bush. They go, well, it's the Russell T Davies show. He obviously came up with it. It ends when he goes. And that was the BBC attitude in a lot of quarters. And Russell, being a fan, knew it was going to evolve, and another producer would come along. And he said, no, it's not going to end, and I'm going to pass the baton. But the BBC, in its mindset, goes, well, 6 years now. When I did Dead Ringers, after about 3 series, they just stopped promoting it because it wasn't a new series. And that's the whole thing. Everything in the BBC is geared towards the first couple of series of the show, and then they forget about it.
Isn't that the reason why Moffat was so keen to promote it as Series 1, so he would get the whole BBC publishing machine behind him again?
I've not thought of it like that, but you have a very good point. Yes, absolutely. It has to be the new. It has to be a new series. You have to change the Daleks. You've got to excite people. You've got to excite the BBC. This is the problem. The public are excited, but the BBC, being a bureaucracy, it has no loyalty to an audience. It has no worries about ratings. They'll just charge on regardless. It just takes one head of drama to say, I don't like that much. I'll cut this budget in half. That's all it takes. I'm sorry to say that, but that's all it takes. So you've got to keep pretending it's the newest thing ever. You can't just say, it's 10 years. They moved Blue Peter to Manchester. That's sacrilege.
Doesn't it come down to money, though? The amount of money that Doctor Who brings into the BBC is immense. Depends on how much they put into it. Would it not be suicide for them to cancel it?
They said that in 84 and 85. There is no logic to anything. It just takes a couple of people at the top to go, we know how to do this thing. We can make another series and get the merchandising going, just like Doctor Who. They know better, and that's all it takes. It'll get cancelled.
They tried that, obviously, particularly Robin Hood. They tried to make a rival to companion to Doctor Who. But it never took off commercially in the way that Doctor Who did. There were a few figures, but it didn't have that groundswell of merchandising and public opinion.